here, all right?
Thank you. Do you ever think about what legacy you will leave behind? I know that I do. Ever since that moment that I had held my little brother in my bony arms, silently watching his life slowly slipped from his body, praying for a miracle, but somehow knowing none was to come. He wasn't the first. Through those entire months where we had hoped for even the tiniest drop of water, many had fallen, from friends to family to neighbors, and we couldn't even afford them the decency of a burial. One after another, my tribesmen blotted away our source of livelihood and wealth, cut off our homes that once held happy memories, now turned into mass graves. So again, I ask you, what legacy will you leave behind? Is it going to be these adverse effects and horrifying, terrible things that are happening because of climate change? Or is it going to be something different? But while you're still thinking about it, unpopular opinion, but if you ask me, climate justice is equal rights and opportunities. It is access to education and quality healthcare. It is gender equality. Now, I know a lot of you may not run with me on that same thought, but these things are tied to it, and if only we could solve them, then we will be a step closer to curbing this monster that you're talking about. If you ask me, climate justice is a human right. It is allowing us who face the brunt of climate change to sit in those rooms where policies and reforms are being made to protect all and to cushion the vulnerable. It is allowing us the ability to be able to speak up and be heard. But if you won't allow us in, we will create our own spaces and speak up, because it is us who want this disaster over and done with that still have to suffer the most. One, we demand that these rich countries and corporations pay their climate debt to the last dime. And while we are at it, change the systems that protect them, because there's simply no way a mamamboga in my village should get fined and closed down for business for using one single piece of paper bag, while some multi-million-dollar company produces and releases millions of products wrapped in polythene bags and plastic into the market every single hour. And then this garbage is dumped into my neighborhood, and the bad stench from this dumping sites is the least of my worries. Can we take a moment and talk about these corporations that have turned our water bodies into dumping sites, and the government has turned a completely blind eye? Who are they supposed to be protecting? The rich who are getting richer of destroying nature, or us who are going to have to pay for this impending doom? And let's not forget these corporations who have been clearing down our forests to pave way for tall buildings and structures and raw materials for their products. And then my uncle gets arrested for cutting down a single tree to pay school fees. Ridiculous. And when we speak up, we are labeled wrong. No, we are not wrong. And we will keep advocating and demonstrating until every single government, every corporation, every community, every individual takes responsibility, because climate justice is a collective responsibility. And each and every one of us in our own massive or little ways have contributed to this crisis. And so that means each and every one of us in this room will have to respond. First, could we start by electing leaders who care about the universe? Could we divert from fossil fuels, boycott companies that are an environmental hazard, donate to climate change initiatives, refrain from cutting down trees, and in case you have to, please plant twice as much and encourage your friends to do the same. We have to be at the front line of protecting our home, because like it or not, Earth is the only home we own, the only home we know, and if we keep in our blissful ignorance, it will consume us whole. If you don't believe me, check out how many creatures have gone extinct. It is time for the privileged to start using their privilege as a platform, for the protected to start protecting. and for the powerful to start empowering, because like it or not, climate justice is a collective responsibility. Thank you. I've always wondered what it would feel like to walk this world unafraid. Wearing freedom as a shiny ornament, a stamp of declaration that boldness is mine and I can thrive and flourish in it. And in as much as so much noise has been made on women empowerment, equal pay and opportunities, maternal health, FGM, and all these challenges we face, I still feel trapped. Yes, I know I'm a fully grown woman, but inside of me lives a very terrified, fragile little girl. I watched him. I watched him tearing her apart, beating her black and blue, hurling insults like he had no shame, like he felt no pain. And as if that wasn't bad enough, I angrily watched her holding me back, begging me to let him be, pleading for his forgiveness, begging for mercy. Eyes bloodshot, face swollen, ribs broken, probably lost a tooth or two, like she had no shame, like she felt no pain. She looked right into my eyes and called me a liar. Made me swear I would never retell those gory details to another soul, because even if it was true, which it wasn't, I was to blame for causing him to burn in desire for my flesh. I had lain on that ungodly altar, feeling like a tainted burnt offering. But even if it was true, which it wasn't, why didn't I scream loud enough, fight hard enough? Her own mother had dragged her, stark naked, in front of the thirsty eyes of the masses to go get the cats, because unless she was mutilated, she was a disgrace. A good woman did as she was told, did the bidding of culture as she was told, respected the ancestors of old and all the told. And then this woman who thinks she's doing the world a favor by dragging her daughter back into the very arms of the man who's turned her into a punching bag, constantly cheating on her with no ounce of respect for her or her dreams, because thou shalt not break the commandment from the Holy Bible of Good Women, chapter 4, verse insanity, which says it is more honorable to die by the hands of your husband than to leave him. Sisters have refused to vote fellow sisters into positions of leaderships because she is just a woman. You can't trust a woman. A woman's place is in the kitchen and in the bedroom with her legs widespread, bear children, give pleasure, and rear them. And honey, if you forget it, we will remind you, you have no need for a job. Serve your man. That is all you need. It was a woman who taught me that a woman's vocabulary included only 3 words. Yes, please, and the famous I'm sorry, that slipped through my tongue like tales of old, stuck in my memory like a leech. She silenced my voice, backed and buried it in a tomb so deep. No, I wasn't born mute. I became one. My vocal cords, hoarse from my silent screams, clouded in despair and agony. She showed me how to hate, how I looked, and like the shallow human I was, every single time society's standards of beauty changed, I'd chase, running after it like a race, exhausted. I gave up. It was a woman who taught me and showed me what patriarchy looked like. She let chauvinism thrive in her hands, complaining but feeding it, grumbling but nursing it, fueling it. Chauvinism, misogyny flourished, consuming her whole. It destroyed her, but she destroyed herself. But maybe it's because she didn't know better. And even if she did know better, maybe it's because she didn't know how to do better, how to be better. I just say we can create a revolution. In fact, we can be the revolution. And as divine as that sounds, it will take work on the inside before the out. So I dare you, Queen, to fight every single raging battle in the inside of you and ensure you win. The ones against your self-worth, your self-esteem, your dreams and desires, the culture surrounding you, people's perceptions of you, the limitations set by society for you, your ideas on men, on fellow women, all these visions that you have for yourself. I hope you heal. I hope you learn to speak again, even if you have to start with A, B, C. I hope you learn to laugh with the abandon of a little girl who's known no darkness or gloom. Like the great warrior you are, audaciously stepping into the battlefield, committed to victory. Not just for you, but so your fellow sisters, your daughters, the generations coming after you would never have to fight such wars ever again. I hope you keep evolving every day. And once you do, Queen, you will be unstoppable. You will be the revolution. And maybe, just maybe, we will all know how it feels like to walk this world unafraid. Thank you.
Wow. That is Felicity Mudis.